Well, as we've mentioned, right behind this storm is a brutally cold blast that's hitting this weekend, meaning time is of the essence for tenants at an apartment complex in Minneapolis that's been without heat since the end of October. The building on Aldrich Avenue South in the Lyndale neighborhood is getting a new boiler, but a series of delays is forcing some tenants to sleep in their coats. Gordon Severson has more live from the newsroom. Gordon?
Yeah, Julie, tenant advocates say this is a fairly common problem. Old apartment buildings with old boiler systems that break down in the middle of winter. But the tenants in this case argue that 2 months is a long time to go without heat, and they are not happy with how the building's owner has handled the situation.
It's been really depressing.
At the end of a long day at work, it's nice to come home to a warm place to relax. But for Charlie Tyree, his home is barely warmer than the freezing cold temps outside.
I tested yesterday and my space heater had been on for a while at that point, and it was 47.1. We keep refrigerators at 40 degrees. We are 7 degrees hotter than a fridge.
Tyree says his apartment and nearly 20 other units inside this building in Minneapolis haven't had heat since October, and some tenants are using extreme measures to stay warm.
I'll turn the oven on and leave it on. I'll go and boil some water and just put it in a mug and hold my hands on it.
A spokesperson for the city of Minneapolis says tenants have filed several complaints and inspectors have issued 2 citations. A representative from BLVD Management says the apartment building's boiler went out and they're in the process of installing a new boiler that they had to bring in from Ohio, but they're hoping to have the heat back on by Friday. The company has given each tenant space heaters in the meantime, and they're offering financial compensation.
As of yesterday, they said we have 2 months of $150 rent credits,
which Tyree says isn't enough. He and other tenants are requesting a full rent reimbursement for the 2 months they haven't had heat, plus additional money to cover the extra cost of running space heaters to stay warm.
Especially we're supposed to get 5 inches of snow tonight. Well, that'll be in a non-heated environment for me.
A local nonprofit called Homeline offers free legal advice for tenants who are experiencing the same situation, and they have received more than 100 complaints since October 15th from tenants across the state. They say the first step is to file a complaint with your local city inspector. You can also file an emergency tenant remedies action in the courts to try to find a solution.
Wow, and what a horrible combination. We just got whacked with winter, more severe than in 20 years to start the season. To have that happen at the same time is brutal. Thank you, Gordon.